Mizzou's current win total is currently set at 9.5, and we're still 6-7 months away from the season, so the win total can definitely change depending on different things that happen from the transfer portal to just stuff in general in college football. But 9.5 is the number we have to go on. So I want to talk about how Brady Cook can impact this win total, and of course, it's not a one-man show. This win total and wins are impacted by the whole team, but we're a quarterback channel, so we try to make it quarterback specific. So we're going to talk about Brady Cook and how he can lead and how many wins he's potentially worth, how he can impact the win total and help Mizzou hit the over, right? So heading into 2024, Brady Cook is one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the SEC, especially facing SEC competition. We have some transfers coming in from Blake Shapen to Taylor Green, who've played a lot of football, but not in the SEC, right? I think only Jackson Dart has as much experience as Brady Cook in the SEC. I think they're the top quarterbacks returning as far as experience, right? This is going to be the third year for the most part starting at a SEC school, right? So what do you have with Cook? What do we have heading into 2024 against a pretty tough schedule, but still for SEC standards now, there's a pathway to hit those 10 games. Like, it's not like Oklahoma or Arkansas or Florida's schedule. Some of the toughest schedules in all of college football. Well, like, Florida has 9 games against opponents that are going to be in the top 25 heading into the season, right? I think with Cook, you have a top 5 quarterback in the SEC with potential to be even higher, right? Like, you saw him take that step from 2022 to 2023, and we had former Mizzou quarterback on Brad Smith, last offseason, and we talked about it. He mentioned that, hey, Cook only started 1 year. Like, he doesn't have a ton of experience yet. Like, let him develop, let him grow. And he was exactly right. Cook came on and had a heck of a season last year in 2023. So I think you have a top 5 quarterback in the league. I think he can finish even higher after this season. But heading into 2024, you have a top 5 quarterback in the league. You have one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the league in college football as it relates to playing in the SEC. And so I think you're always going to be in any game. You can win every game on this schedule. Now, while there's some tougher games than others, you're still going to be in every game with Brady Cook, right? So if he takes the next step, if he continues to progress, and then I'm extremely confident in hitting the win total. If he's the exact same quarterback he was last year, I'm still pretty confident in hitting the win total because I thought he was a pretty good quarterback. I thought he surprised a ton of people, especially with his receiver burden coming back and just the weapons that he has. And I think if he takes the next step, you're extremely confident, right? So he took a step in 2023. I imagine he's going to take a step in 2024. So with that said, let's dive into the schedule. Let's look at the schedule and kind of go game by game and talk about what's the pathway to hit this win total based off this schedule. And if this is your first time tuning into the channel, 1, thank you. But 2, we're just a big quarterback hub. We talk all things college football quarterback. So if that's your type of niche, if you're just a quarterback junkie, a college football junkie, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, like the video. All right, so let's go through the schedule. First 4 games are all at home, and you should win every game handily here. You should start off 4-0, right? You got Murray State home, Buffalo home, Boston College home with a underrated quarterback, but new coaching staff, a lot of stuff going on this offseason. You got Vandy at home. So you should be 4-0 starting off. You have a lot of games that prep you, and then you're off. And then you come up to potentially your toughest game, right? Maybe your toughest game. Actually, no, probably Bama your toughest game. But after that off week, you go to A&M away at A&M. Now, this is going to be A&M's, 5th game or so of the season, something like that. And so they still have a new coaching staff. They don't have all the experience. It still may be taking them a while to get gelling, if that makes sense. So you could be the favorite going to this game without a doubt. I like Connor Wigman. I think he's a stud. If he can stay healthy, I think he can mesh really well with offensive coordinator Colin Klein for A&M. And while I think this game is going to be tough, and I think it's a coin flipping game without a doubt, I think you're getting them on a good spot. They got a new coaching staff. They got a talented quarterback. If they're gelling right now, if they're hitting all cylinders at 100%, then A&M may be favored here. But I think as of right now, I think Mizzou is still the favorite with their coaching staff, with Cook coming back and the experience he has. I still think he's the favorite, but definitely coin flippy. Then you have UMass away. Boom, win. You have Auburn at home. This is a must-win for me. We're going to talk about this game later. Then you have Bama away. Tough. This is probably the toughest game on the schedule. I know Bama's an easy school to make fun of right now, but I think they're going to be a lot better than people think, and I'm not one to pick on them right now. I think Jalen Miller is a stud. Miller is going to be taking that next step. He has another year of experience coming up, and this game is later on in the season, so I think they're going to be – the potential of them gelling right now are much, much higher in weeks 8 or 9 compared to week 2 or 3. But tough game, still coin flippy. Always going to be in the game, but a tough game here. Then you have South Carolina away, right? So you have 3 away games in a row with Bama, South Carolina away, new quarterback in South Carolina, but I think he's a talented guy, but you should still be the favorite. Then you have Mississippi State away. So those are your 3 away games back to back to back. And then you finish with Arkansas, right? Mississippi State, back to Mississippi State. They're away. They got new OC, new coach, new quarterback. They're gonna have a rough first season, I would imagine, but this is the end of the season, so they may be gelling at this time. They may be hitting their stride. So you're catching Mississippi State away, and they're trying to end the season with some confidence, right? But still, you should still be the favorite. Then you have Arkansas at home. Excuse me, can't talk. Arkansas at home, last game of the season. New offensive coordinator, Taylor Green. This is the last game of the season, and if things are going the way a lot of Arkansas fans feel like that's going to go, and just fans in general, they may be in searching for a new head coach before this game even hits, right? So who knows what's going to happen, but still you can't slip up. So my biggest takeaway with this schedule, I think Cook gives you the advantage in most games from the quarterback side of things, but at the same time, you can't slip up. Like, I think it hinges on Auburn. I think if you lose your 2 toughest games to A&M and to Bama away, that's fine, but you can't lose to Auburn, right? Like let's just say you lose those games. You go 10-2, you still hit the win total. It's a hell of a season, right? But everything hinges on Auburn, in my opinion. You have Auburn at home. I think that's the must-win game. I think that's kind of like the game that can get easily lost, right? That's a must-win game for me. And then you can't slip up against South Carolina, Mississippi State, or Arkansas. If you lose one of those games, if you have one slip-up game, then I think you're probably hitting the under. I think you're going 9-3 if you slip up to one of those schools, right? Now, those schools are all going to be improving. Those schools are all trying to take the next step, so it could definitely happen, but I think you have the advantage with Brady Cook, right? So just to kind of recap, you have to start off 4-0. You got 4 easy games to go through. Then A&M, one of your toughest games, that's away, but I still think you're getting them at a good time. I think you can win that game 100%, but still, going to be tough on the road. Then UMass, Auburn, we talked about Auburn being that like hinge game that just got to find a way to win that game at home. You'll be favored, but it's going to be tough. Then Bama away, your toughest game of the season. Then South Carolina, Mississippi State, and Arkansas, all kind of bottom tier programs right now heading into the SEC, so you should be the favorite there, so you can't slip up, right? So avoid slip up games. If you split A&M and Bama, you're in a fantastic spot. But even if you lose, if you go 0-2 against them, I think you got to beat Auburn to not have any slip up games. Right, so again, you got Brady Cook, you got experienced quarterback, and you're in a good spot moving forward. And I think he's going to take that next step, and I would expect Mizzou to still be in a good spot like they were last year. But Mizzou fans and SEC fans, just fans in general, what are your thoughts? One, on Mizzou's win total. Let me know what they're going to do in the comments below, and then let me know about Brady Cook, just your overall thoughts on him and the impact he has on Mizzou. And again, if you like this content, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the video. Keep following us along. We'll see you next time.